Hey everyone, it's Stephanie, and today I wanted to show you a tutorial using alcohol inks. This is actually a really simple technique, and I wanted to take the time to show you because I know I've seen this style starting to float around. It's becoming quite popular, and I have had some creators or makers reach out to me and ask how to achieve this look. So I am going to show you how to make these today. I do want to point out or note that I prefer using a set of cutters when using this technique because the slab has different clouds of alcohol ink on it, and when you have a set of cutters you can see the actual shape of those circles coming through, and I think it just looks really pretty for the final or the finished look on a pair of earrings. So this is the Molly earring cutter set. I want to show you two different ways that your alcohol ink will look on your clay. We're using Xoxo Steph today. I prefer to use this clay because it is one of the least oily clays out there. Cernit and Primo are a little more oily, and so the alcohol inks kind of tend to sit on top and not really dry or absorb into the clay. So as you see here, what we are trying to accomplish is this big fluffy cloud. You can just drop it onto your clay and get this effect. Sometimes when you drop it on, it'll just stay like a circle and it won't actually fan out like a cloud on the edges. If you notice, this color here is completely flush. So there are no variations. In this one, there's a lot of darkness and patches. This one is just one smooth color with a little bit of darkness around the edges. And this is the look we're actually trying to go for today. All right, so the first thing we are going to do is I am going to put one of these little gloves on my fingers because, as you can see, I've been playing with alcohol inks and I've already got it all over the place. So this is going to be my slab that I am going to create with, and today I'm using fuchsia because I love pink, and you will also need white. So whatever color you choose to work with, and white. Now, in order to get our alcohol ink to fan out and spread out like this, we have to use white first. We need our slab to be wet so that when the alcohol ink lands on it, it can just start to grow and fan out. So the first thing that I do is we're just gonna put a little bit of white and then we'll smear that on. Since that's wet, you'll see that once we tap our alcohol ink on there, it immediately starts to grow. Now, for growth comparison, these two are both the same size drops. This is just the alcohol ink straight out of the bottle, and then this is the alcohol ink using some white underneath it to help it grow and fan out. So what we'll do is we'll just keep continuing to do this. So you're just gonna spread a little bit and then drop some on there and then let it grow. And we'll just keep repeating this until we pretty much have a nice size slab. I don't like to coat my entire slab with white and then drop because these are alcohol inks and they tend to dry rather quickly. So I like to kind of dab and go as I go, I should say. And then don't worry about empty spots. We don't want to put too many dots to where they're all connecting, because then when we cut it out, you won't have enough white or negative space and it may look a little too busy. So what you can do to fill in, if you just need a tiny spot filled in, but you don't want to drop an entire drop, then what you can do is just add some of that white and then grab the tiniest amount of your alcohol ink and just drop it in with a brush. And that way it'll keep it smaller and you don't have to worry about it fanning out too much. Okay, so once we have our slab done just like this, then what we can do from here is cut our pieces out. I do let my slab dry a little bit before I start cutting it out. You could already see how pretty this is looking. I love how instantly they just grow. And from the same amount of alcohol ink, you cover so much more. It looks so much smoother, and it's just this gradient that goes across your clay. All right, so my next suggestion from here is when you're cutting is to try to keep your cutter, if it is a set, just like this Molly cutter is a set, then I want to try to keep them, when I cut them, I want to keep them in the shape that it is, because that way, like I mentioned earlier, you can kind of see the shape, this circle here, that was cut out of a slab. And it looks really neat when your pieces are hanging and you can see the edges connecting. So I would suggest using a cutter set. Moon phases would be great because those would really show you the continuation of the different drops that we put on there. So I think what I'm gonna do is go ahead and make more Molly, because I only made one Molly just to show you one finished. And I think I'll make Molly going this way and then another one coming that way. So I'm gonna do right here. And then I want it where you can be able to tell that these all go together. So this one will go here. Okay. This one really got covered. I don't think I want it that much. So I'm gonna move it over. Sorry if I'm in the way, guys. I'll just cut it there. And then I'm going to make another Molly from this side. I'll just do it there. Go. Now when you assemble these, this will look so pretty when you have them all together. And then I'm just gonna cut out some pretty toppers. I like to cut out a few and then I'll choose at the very end which one looks the best. From here, once you bake your pieces, then you're just gonna bake as normal, and then as usual, and then once you're done, what I like to do before I start sanding is I like to add my top coat, especially if I'm gonna use matte. So I used a matte top coat on this one. So I added my matte coat and then I went ahead and just sanded it down with my rotary Dremel tool. And but if you're going to use something like resin or a gloss coat, then I would wait until after you've already sanded your pieces. But whenever I'm using a matte finish, I like to just go ahead and apply my coat before sanding. That way I don't accidentally, with my rotary tool, slip to the front and just shave off some color, because it has happened to me. So once this is all done, that's pretty much it. This is how you can accomplish this look using some alcohol inks, and you can use any color you like. I know you've seen these styles floating around. They look so pretty. I think that they're absolutely beautiful. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you'll try it out because it's a lot of fun and the end result is totally worth it.